Hi, everyone. Welcome back to We Can Do This. I'm Jolie, and this is Nacho, who about 2 minutes ago decided that it was cuddle time with me, and he's got a good purr going on, so we'll see if he stays or not. But yeah, this is Nacho. He's my assistant today. So welcome everyone back, my subscribers. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. I appreciate all of you very much. Hope you're having a great weekend. It is dreary and rainy today. Lucky. Don't like these types of weekends, but we're going to keep going on with what we do here. So please subscribe and like. Love it when you guys do that. Please share my broadcast with whoever you know. If you think it can help them, please share. And please know you don't have to watch me live. I put my broadcast on Facebook. You can just go on and click on it, and you can watch it at any time at your convenience. I just appreciate all the support, and I hope it's helping you as well. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. So I also like to give you a disclaimer that I am not a trained psychiatrist. I am not a physician. I am not a therapist. I have no medical training whatsoever. Everything that you see on this broadcast is based on research I've done and my experiences that I've had in my life that I'm bringing to you, in the hopes that if you are going through something right now, or you have and maybe didn't understand it, that it maybe brings some clarification and some peace to your life. So with that being said, we're going to talk about kind of a rough topic today. It's in needy people. Now, I think we need to define what is a needy person. They are the type of people that feel like the attention needs to be on them all the time. Yeah, he left. They are a total buzzkill when it comes to social situations. They are the ones that they need all the attention all the time, and they can't go away from that, because then it throws them off balance. These type of people are very, very hard to deal with. They're very, very hard to have around you, but they're very much people who are damaged goods. They may be struggling with something, but they need this constant reassurance from everybody else around them. And they are the types of people that can really wear you down. So we're going to identify some of their traits that they have, and a couple of things we can do to help us kind of navigate these types of relationships that we may have in our lives. So the first thing is, these types of people are very clingy. They need constant reassurance. They need constant validation. Whether it's they want to hang out all the time, they want to come over all the time, they're texting, they're calling, they have a very huge fear that they're going to miss out on something, or that they're going to be left out or not included in something. These are very insecure individuals, and they need someone around them all the time, that they need them there to keep them at their comfort level. And this is something we're going to talk about that's very draining. We're going to talk a little more here, but it's important about setting boundaries. We're going to get there. Hang in. So, needy people. What is the second thing along with being clingy? They tend to be insecure and have low self-esteem. Now, that being said, I have had low self-esteem my entire life. I still deal with it, but it's because of other people. It's not because of me feeling that I'm really have low self-esteem. It's because everybody else around me makes me feel that way. Not everyone, just certain circumstances around me. But these are the types of people, they have no self-love whatsoever. I do, and I've worked really hard for it. And maybe you struggle with it too. Have you been struggling with it? If so, you're not alone. We all struggle with this at times in our lives, but these people, they have no self-love whatsoever. It's a very empty feeling that they have. They have a very strong urge to feel needed, and if you provide reassurance, or you compliment these people when appropriate, it can help boost that self-esteem that they don't have. It can help them grow and become more independent, but it will be a challenge. Yeah, I promise you that it will be challenging. So number three, they are the type of person who will ask you for favors and then won't do anything in return. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You get it. You get it right. These people are vacuum cleaners. They are like human vacuum cleaners, right? They are manipulators. They are manipulators. I will say twice. They will run the other way if you need them for anything. You know, don't be afraid to say no to these types of people. They will even make up stuff that they need help on to draw you in. How empty is that? It's really bad. So number four, needy people want to spend a lot of time with you. And I want to say an obsessive amount of time with you. They are starving for attention. And you know what it feels like when you're starving, right? We know when we're hungry. Some of us become real bears about it. And these people can suck the life right out of you. These are the times where you need to set boundaries. And I'm not just saying set a boundary. I'm saying you have to set a firm boundary, but be kind about it. These are the they're very emotional type of people. So you need to handle them in a very unique way. So you also need to decide, and this is harsh, but you need to decide, is their friendship even worth it? And it's really hard when it's family, friends you've known forever, acquaintances that you genuinely like. But sometimes you have to make that question. You have to go to that question and really think about it. Number five, they don't know how to communicate their wants and their needs. They're manipulators because it's all they know to do. They don't ask for help because they have this communication deficiency. They have such a strong feeling of being inadequate. They don't feel they're even worth it. They're not worthy of asking for help. But what it does, it manifests into manipulating you and the others around you into doing things or being over clingy. They want you to do things for them. They want to cling on to you because that's what they know. And maybe it's what they've done for a long period of time. I have two different people in my life right now. One I don't see very often, and one I have a feeling I'm going to be seeing more often, unfortunately, that are like this. So it's a matter of you need to understand these people cannot communicate well. Just be aware of that. Number six, they always need someone else's opinion to make a decision. It doesn't matter how big. It doesn't matter how small. They have absolutely zero confidence in making a decision for themselves. They are that petrified about being wrong. They will ask for advice on everything. And it doesn't matter if it's a small. Like it could be, well, what channel should I watch? Should I watch this show or should I watch this show? Who cares? You know what? With the way that technology is now, just tape one and watch the other one. Who cares? But in their mind, that's not how they see things. It's a decision. And they are so insecure of who they are about being wrong that they will go to that extreme. And let's face it, that's really, really annoying and get very, very old very quickly. Number seven, needy people seek out help, even if it's not needed. This is a very, very gentle thing that you need to try to do with them. Gently encourage them, these people, to try things for themselves. Now, I say gentle because if you get too brutal or overbearing, they will come back at you. And verbally, they're manipulators. So that's what they do. And they know how to put it back on you to make you feel guilty. Number 8, they'll make themselves the center of attention. Now, hear me out. Hear me out on this one, because I had this moment this week. These people have just like an urge, like an overextended urge. They need to be the center of attention. They don't want to be the center of attention. They need to be the center of attention. And I can tell you, I have been in this situation, and I actually was in the past week. And what happens is when you're in a social situation and you have other people, you want to have conversations, especially if it's people you haven't seen in a while or you're just chilling out or whatever. These people can't stand to not be the center of attention and to not have the conversation at the table be about them. You can't have a conversation with somebody else, because if it's not about them, they need to draw it back to them, which they're very good at doing, by the way, and they will do it. Everything has to be their world. They have to be the topic of discussion. And I can tell you, when that became the point this past week, I literally left. I just got up and I left. Because it was a social situation, I just had to say, have a good evening, everybody. See you next week. Goodbye. And I had control of it. I had to take control of it. They are excessive with this. In a social situation, it's very frustrating. You want to have other conversations. You want to talk about all kinds of different things, especially if it's your time during the week to relax. I have next to no personal time in my life. I have no downtime. And it's very precious to me, the time that I do have. And these types of situations, you really need to grab the bull by the horns and take control of it yourself in a way that maybe not be so noticeable. So keep that in mind. Center of attention is an obsession. Number 9, they will not take responsibility for their own actions or problems. Now, if you're in a relationship with a person like this, there's going to be a lot of resentment that's going to come out of this. The boundaries that you set can become convoluted. What is your boundary? What is their boundary? And because they're manipulators, they can make it feel like, oh no, that was why didn't you do that? They will turn it on you in a heartbeat. You need to be aware of that and look out for that. Number 10, they use guilt as a manipulation tactic. They will make you feel guilty for not meeting their needs. They will get into your head. If you don't fill their needs and desires, even if it's out of their control, it's your fault. That guilt they will bring it into you quicker than a flash. You need to end conversations like this immediately. Never, and I mean never, let anyone emotionally take you by force and manipulate you to feel how they feel or feel something different than what you truly believe. Don't do it. Keep your boundaries firm. Walk away if you have to. Don't let the guilt factor come into it. Don't let them do it. Number 11, they need constant reassurance and validation. They are so preoccupied with relationship status. If they're liked, if they worry that they're not going to be accepted. These people have a fear in here, deep in here, that they can't be loved for who they are. And I think a lot of us can relate to that at some point. We've all been in different groups, social groups in our lives where we felt like we weren't in. We weren't there. But they need an overabundance of external approval because they can't get it in here. So they have to go externally and they have to draw it like a sponge from everybody around them because that's what they know and that's what they do. So all of this, how do you deal with a person like this, right? How do you deal? It's very hard to deal with someone like this because there are a lot of high emotions involved and there's a lot of pressure they will put on you to draw everything out of you to help them meet this deficiency in their life. So what can we do? There are a couple things. Number one, we can give them attention, but do it sparingly, okay? There's only so much you can do. Whether you're a friend or a family member, you can only do so much. If you feel like it's pulling on you and it's too much on you, pull it back. Pull it back. Walk away a little bit. Take a break. Get that space. You have every right to that. That's something you can control. Number two, don't be an enabler. Now, an enabler has a very convoluted definition in today's world. I'll tell you why. Whenever we talk about addiction, people with substance addiction or, sex addiction or whatever addiction, it doesn't matter. People who love you have a tendency to support you, but they support you in a way that they tell you what not only you want to hear, but what they want to hear too. That's why on this channel, I extremely encourage you to go to a third a party that's not involved in the relationship because you will get a fair, non-judgmental, outside opinion of a situation they don't know anything about. That's when you can get some of the most best feedback you can get. If it's someone you love, I get it. You can't change how you love them, but you can change how you react to them. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard. But don't be that enabler. And if you have to take it outside to a third party, get some help, get some insight, get that unbiased opinion, do it. By all means, do it. Go find it. 3, be patient. If they are going through something really hard in their lives, be patient with them. I went through something very difficult for many, many years. I had a person in my life who stuck by me, who listened to me. I'd say the same thing all the time because my circumstance didn't change. This person was an angel to me, and they still are. They're still in my lives. They're going through their own thing right now, and I am having to be there for them, and I am not giving up on them. I adore them. I love them very much. This person is like a sibling to me. I'm being patient because they were patient for me. If someone is going through something, we're not talking about someone who's needy all the time. This is a different scenario. Help them out. Don't let it drag you down. I'm not saying that. But help them. Be there for them the best you can. And the final thing I mentioned how many times here, set boundaries, set boundaries. I'm going to say it twice. Third time, set boundaries. They can be firm, not mean, but they can be firm. If you decide to not cut ties with someone who is needy, you need to stick to this. Don't let it wafer, because the second you let it wafer, they will take advantage of it, and you're going to find yourself going down that rabbit hole again, which is not what you want to do. So my final thoughts on needy people are: focus on what they're communicating about themselves through their actions. I can honestly say, in looking at the people that I know who are like this, some have done it all their lives because they've been enabled to do it and they don't know anything else to do. And they can't handle it when someone says no. And then there are other people I know who are like this, who are a lot more bold about it, a lot more pushy about it. And it's not because they don't know what else to do. It's just because they are so in deep into how they can't deal with themselves. They're very low self-esteem. I've come to learn after all these years that it's really sad. So I see these people from a very different perspective now. I'm not saying tolerate them. You shouldn't. You need to set your boundaries and don't feel guilty about it, ever. Telling you. But we all have them. Have you seen anything in your life that I've been talking about today? I'd be willing to bet you have, and I hope genuinely that maybe something you've heard here will help you as well. So now we're going to end it here. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty here. All right. First, of course, subscribe and like. Please, please, please. I'm going to keep doing this. I love doing it. I love coming to you. And I would love to at least help one person. If everything I've ever done helps somebody, please let me know if you're on Facebook. I would love to know if I've helped you. That would mean the world to me. And I'm going to keep doing it. That will give me the to keep going on. Second, my teaser. Okay. Unfortunately, I've come to a conclusion after analyzing all of the live streams I've done in over a year. And I'm sad to report that the ones that have the most viewers are the ones on depression. I get it, because I'm with you. I get it, and I look for it too, but it makes me sad. But I chose a topic for next week, and just take it at face value and don't read into it, because I promise you there's more to it than what I'm saying in these 2 words. So what I'm going to be talking about next week is environmental depression. Take it in, but don't read into it. I promise you it's a much broader topic than what you think it is. And I promise you it's probably affected you or someone you love in your life. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to bring it to you next week. So with that being said, here I go. We can do this. We got this. I can and I will. You will too. And you know why? I believe in you. Believe in yourself. You're a wonderful individual. If I believe in you, other people do too. I promise you that. Stay strong, my friends. Have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great week next week. And by all means, please stay faith. Take care. God bless. So until next week, my friends,